Greetings citizens of the IRL, I am pleased to announce that the GIGACORP merch division has completed manufacture of its limited edition GigaLogs fashion line for next year. Please visit gigalogs.shop at your leisure, and GIGACORP thanks you for any merch purchases you may make. I have personally ordered the GigaLogs University sweatshirt, it's hella swag. This has been a GIGACORP public service announcement. Now back to your regular programming.
Ladies and gentlemen from all over the Gigaverse, welcome to the first ever Hermitcraft Deep Lore GigaCast, recorded live and uncut from planet HC-9 in the YT-MC-SMP galaxy of the MC-V-Java supercluster. Or to all of you guys in the IRL, it's just a podcast where we talk about Hermitcraft Deep Lore while doing some casual caving. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, really, and, well, if you didn't understand any of that gibberish that I just said, I'm hoping that by the end of this episode slash video podcast thing, you will have a little bit of a better idea what the heck I am bleating on about. Oh man, kind of excited about this, guys. I've not done something like this for a very, very long time. In fact, probably since before I started Hermitcraft. This is going to be an uncut episode. I'm not going to edit it at all. We're going to have warts and all the ums, all the ahs, all the mistakes when I speak with the English, with the mouth, because sometimes it doesn't work correctly, and we're just going to try and plug our way through it. Mostly because I don't really have that much time to make another Hermitcraft episode before I go to Canada. I'm going to go and spend Christmas with my family in Canada in just a few days from now. So I thought, well, I want to get one more episode out for you guys for Christmas, but yeah, I can't do a real proper Hermitcraft episode. So why don't we try something new, something different, bit of a podcasty type episode. And today I would very much like to answer a question that a lot of you guys have been asking me in the comments of, well, most of Season 9. Rendog, what the heck is the Gigaverse, GigaCorp, what's all this Giga nonsense about? I realized that I haven't actually explained any of it in any episode yet. So I thought, you know what, for those of you who are interested, get yourself a cup of tea. We shall head off into the unknown. Just go find a random cave network somewhere and just do an hour or so of caving, and I want to talk to you guys about the Gigaverse. I want to explain to you what this whole Gigaverse concept is, because this is something that is a very important part of my Hermitcraft Season 9. And in fact, the Gigaverse is going to be an important part of my entire journey on Hermitcraft moving forward, because essentially what I'm trying to do is create something out of absolute nothing. I'm trying to create a Gigaverse, a universe, if you will, a world story within the Minecraft canon, and I'm trying my best to bring it to life to all of you guys through my videos and through all of the amazing cinematics and all that stuff that we do. I'm trying to make this whole concept of the Gigaverse a thing. Now, before I waffle on too much, I want to explain to you guys why I'm doing this. Why am I explaining to you, or trying to explain to you in an hour-long uncut video, what the heck the Gigaverse is? I think there's a cave over here that we can get into. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. There's a nice big crack over here. Okay, let's get ourselves prepared for some caving here, friends. I've got everything that we need. Let's put some armor on for this. We're going to be using the King's Shield to take us down into the depths also. We might as well have a bit of nostalgia while we're at this little caving episode. Let's see how deep we can get, guys. See how many diamonds we can get while we do this too, man. That'll be pretty sweet. So why do I want to tell you about the Gigaverse? What's so important about the Gigaverse, I hear you asking? Well, geez, over the course of the last few seasons, all the way since probably Season 6, I think, is the first time we really did some weird stuff in Hermitcraft, I have been developing a couple of characters here and there, right? All the characters from all the seasons, you know, some crazy characters like Rendog and Tomato Yoshi, and man, we've got other weird ones like Menard Tiddlebink, of course, and a few others have shown themselves over the course of the season. Of the seasons, we've got the Renperor from Season 7, of course. We've got Rosie from Season 9. We've got all the stuff from the Hermitcraft in Season 8. You know, all of these things that I have been doing, all of these worlds and stories that I've been creating, there isn't really any rhyme or reason for why any of these things are happening from the viewer's perspective anyway. And I kind of want to make I don't know, I want to make it a little bit clearer to you guys what all of this stuff is. Where does it all come from? Where did Renbob come from? Where did Tomato Yoshi come from? Right? Who is Admiral Endarion? And why is he flying around in the Gigaverse? Why is Rosie in the Hermitcraft? All of the answers to all of these questions that you lore junkies have, I want to answer. But we can't answer questions like this without having a world with which to answer the questions from, right? And this made me realize that I needed to create a world or a universe in which all of these characters exist so that I can justify their existence and I can help to explain to you guys where they all come from and you know, what is their purpose within this world over here. So that was the first reason that I wanted to create the Gigaverse. The second reason is a bit more of an artistic reason. You know, for most of the really cool stuff we've done in Hermitcraft so far, I've done a lot of borrowing from other world or other universes, right? In Season 7, we borrowed heavily from StarCraft, from Star Wars, and even in Season 6, when Tomato Yoshi was around, we were borrowing quite a lot from the Ninja Turtles universe. You know, in Season 8, we were borrowing a lot from the Matrix universe. And, you know, it's all good and well to, like, borrow ideas and concepts from already created universes. And I think it's great to be able to use Minecraft to bring these other universes to life. I think that's super cool, and I've had such a great time doing that over the years. But for me as as a creator, as an artist, or whatever you want to call me, I want to make my own universe at some point. I want to make something that's mine. I want to make something that, you know, my stories exist within my own IP, I suppose, within my own universe. And that's exactly what I'm trying to achieve here with the whole Gigaverse concept. All of this stuff that I've been doing to date so far in Hermitcraft has been great, but it has been borrowed, right? I have been borrowing from other IPs and other worlds, and that's fine, but I want to see if I can make my own stuff. I want to see if I can create my own universe that you guys get excited about, that people write fan art about, that people get interested in, that maybe they even start using in their own Minecraft worlds, in their own Minecraft videos. You know, that would be a huge accomplishment for me as a creator, to create canon, if you will, right? To try and build something that is worthy of canon. Now, I am under no illusion that I don't think that my Gigacorp or my Gigacorp or Gigacraft idea, Gigaverse idea has any legs to stand on. I don't think it's, you know, an exceptionally amazing, unique idea. But, you know, I want to try and do this with the Gigaverse, and if the Gigaverse doesn't work out, then I'll try something else, right? I mean, you know, the people who made these massive universes, Star Wars, Star Trek, any of these huge universes, the first, you know, I can guarantee you the first ones that they made wasn't the universe that you see now. I'm sure George Lucas went through many variations of his Star Wars universe before he arrived on the one that we all love. And same goes for, you know, say Lord of the Rings, for example. Tolkien probably wrote many thousands of pages of ideas and concepts before he, before Middle Earth was actually his primary idea. So even if this concept of the Gigaverse doesn't turn out to work out or isn't exciting to the audience, it's practice, right? It's practice in world building on a very large scale. And that is my primary goal, really, I suppose, with this whole Gigaverse concept. And sorry, there's a couple of creepers coming for me right now in the caves. If you're just listening to this and not watching the video footage, I might get a little bit scared every now and then, because yes, I am caving for real in some very dark and deep cave systems. So yes, that is the two primary reasons why I want to create this concept of the Gigaverse. There's one more reason which is maybe a little bit more ambitious, and I've already touched on it a little bit with what I've been saying here, but the other reason is that I want to maybe try and create a concept for the existence of Minecraft. I want to try and design the universe in which Minecraft exists, right? And not just Minecraft, but all things that are Minecraft, right? So if we get our conceptual hats on and we ask the question, what is the Minecraft universe? Where is it happening? Physically, where is this Minecraft universe happening? How are these worlds spawned? All of these millions of Minecraft worlds that get spawned on a daily basis. Where, how are they created? Where do they function? What are the rules of this universe in which they exist? Or, as I am calling it, this Gigaverse. And so those are my three primary reasons, my primary motivations for creating this concept of the Gigaverse. And yeah, I think for the rest of this GigaCast or this podcast, I want to talk a little bit more in detail about what all of these things are, and try and explain to you exactly what the Gigaverse is. Now, before we can get to that, though, we do need to have a bit of an explanation. Well, oh my goodness, there we go. You see right there, that's when I would cut in a video. I'm recording this live with no cuts. I have to get used to this, guys. I've been making videos on YouTube in a professional sense, so to speak, right? With the cuts and all of that for so many years now. It's really weird for me to not cut. In fact, my brain wants to automatically cut. I can feel myself finding those spaces to cut in the flow of my dialogue. I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut in a few seconds' time, but I just have to crack on here, man. I have got some notes here, by the way. This isn't all just coming straight out of my brain. I'm not that smart. I have written some notes here, and also what's making this difficult is that I'm not coming across any useful cave systems in my caving either. I haven't even found my way down to diamond level yet, which is kind of annoying. But let me have a quick squiz at my notes over here. Where are we? How did I start thinking about the Gigaverse? That's where we're at now. Yes. So I want to set the scene a bit, right? Like, why am I so obsessed with this Gigaverse? Why am I trying to bring this whole Gigaverse thing to life? I mean, why don't I just make Minecraft videos and not worried about all of this nonsense? Well, the concept of this Gigaverse, in fact, first arose during my amazing time spent with DocM77 working on the Hermitcraft storyline in Season 8. Doc and I did this really crazy story in Season 8 where all of the Hermits are trapped in a digital world called the Hermitcraft, and they are trapped in this digital world while aboard the Hermitcraft spaceship, and a virus has infected the spaceship and basically trapped all of the Hermits' minds inside of this fake world, basically, and this virus is trying to destroy them. And Goatman and Rendog actually saved the day by unleashing a firewall program called Munatrix Octa, which essentially blows up the virus and saves the Hermits. It's a long and complicated story, to be completely honest with you, but during the conceptualization of the Hermitcraft and all of this cool stuff like the Hermitcraft spaceship, it became very clear to me that we needed a place for this Hermitcraft to exist in, right? So, in a nutshell, the Hermitcraft is an interdimensional, or not an interdimensional, it is a traveling transport vehicle, a massive deep space transport ship that transports the Hermits between seasons, right? So from Season 1 to Season 2, oh my goodness, I found an amazing cave, guys. Nice, I can relax a little bit about the caving situation now. But basically the idea, my idea anyway, for the Hermitcraft lore is that the Hermits travel to their different planets or their different seasons on this massive spaceship called the Hermitcraft. And the Hermitcraft needs to exist within something, right? The Hermitcraft needs to be in space in order to travel between the different Hermitcraft seasons, right? So I see each season of Hermitcraft as a planet. So, and I've even found a way to sort of give them categorizations. So, Hermitcraft Season 1 is on planet HC-1, and this is Hermitcraft Season 9, so we are currently on planet HC-9, right? And of course, Hermitcraft Season 10, the next season will be on HC-10, and when this season is over, all of the Hermits will gather in the Hermitcraft and be transported to HC-10 by Goatman, who is in fact the one of the pilots of HC-10, as is Rendog. But we'll get into more of that deep lore at some other point. Maybe we'll do a few more of these deep lore podcasts to try and explain all of that madness. But anyway, so for the Hermitcraft concept to work in Season 8, I needed the Hermitcraft to exist inside of a world. I needed it to exist in something that made sense. And so over time, it slowly started to come to me that maybe we could create a universe that exists, but just for Minecraft. And within this universe, the Hermitcraft could easily sit. Now, that opened up a whole bunch of doors in my brain, of course, because if the Hermitcraft worlds or planets exist within this Gigaverse, then so does the, I don't know, the Mindcrack planets, so does the Empires planets, so does, in fact, your single player world that you maybe play Minecraft on today. Maybe that world also exists within this Gigaverse, right? And that made me realize, well, what about, you know, other Minecraft stuff? What about like Minecraft Dungeons? What about Minecraft Legends? What about Bedrock and Java? How do all of these different things fit into a universe within in which all Minecraft stuff exists? And that made me realize that I was onto something much bigger than just a very quick explanation as to what the Prometheus spaceship is doing inside, you know, floating around the Hermitcraft planets. There's so much more around the planets. This also, you know, helped me to understand and perhaps be able to explain some of the weirdest stuff that has happened in my content over the last few years. If we throw our mind back to Hermitcraft Season 7 during the Renpera saga, there are moments in the Renpera saga, for example, when the Sith fighting guy, the red-faced guy who Rendog battles in the final scene in the finale, on his way to planet HC-7, he stops in at a diner, at that space diner that you see at the beginning of this season. And, you know, there were open questions that I often saw from viewers. What is this space diner? Where is it? How does this thing, you know, like, what is it? You don't ever explain what the space diner is. We want to know more. The space diner is so cool. Explain to us what it is, where it exists, and so on. And so, you know, I was quite inspired by the interest that a lot of you guys were showing in this world that I was making in HC-7, and I suppose all of that sort of triggered me to, you know, to sort of conceptualize this thing that I call the Gigaverse. And yeah, that was basically the first time that I started thinking about the Gigaverse. Really was when I was working with Doc, and the deeper we went in, I've actually got a really funny screenshot that I sent Doc. I made a little like concept in my in MS Paint that I sent to Doc. And I remember when I showed it to Doc for the first time, he's like, bro, don't ever show this to anyone. You will be forever labeled as a mega nerd. Well, sorry, Doc. Too late, I'm afraid. I'm going to show it in this video if I remember to add it in editing. But yeah, so that's kind of how I started thinking about the Gigaverse. I was creating this universe naturally in Season 7 for the Renpera storyline. It had already sort of, you know, been manifested. I'd already suggested to you guys as the viewers that there was something bigger out there than just this Hermitcraft. This Hermitcraft. Sorry, I just got blown up by a creeper. Sorry, guys. This Hermitcraft universe, right? I was in Season 7. I basically suggested that Hermitcraft exists within a bigger planet and or within a bigger universe. And within that universe, something crazy was happening. This Renpera storyline was happening within this bigger universe, right? I implied that through the story. And by the way, we just found our first diamonds, which is amazing. I just need to clear this cave of all the beasties. So yeah, the Gigaverse concept was in my brain. It stayed in my brain for quite a while, actually. And over the course of the last couple of years or so, and especially as I started working on the concepts for Season 9, so everything that you've seen in Season 9 so far, including Rosie the bot, Admiral Endarion, you know, before I started Season 9, I needed to have all of those storylines tied up, right? I needed to know who Rosie was. I needed to know who Admiral Endarion was so that I could tell the story properly. So, in fact, I had wrapped up the concept of the Gigaverse quite thoroughly before this season even began. And I was hoping to explain it to you guys in more detail in the first 20 episodes. But, you know, as always happens in Hermitcraft, things happened and we got made the king, and then we went over to Empires, and, you know, all of these other things that happen on the server kind of sometimes get in the way of the stories you're trying to tell, especially if you are a very lore-focused creator like I am, right? Like other lore stuff that you find interesting often takes precedent over the lore that you're trying to tell in your story, and you're like, okay, well, we'll just do the king thing for a bit because it's going to be fun, and oh, we'll go over to empires for a bit because that looks like it's going to be fun, and you know, the Gigaverse and Rosie and Admiral and Darion, they just keep getting pushed back and back and back. So, you know, I'm sorry about that for all of you Gigaverse fans out there. I've got to get better at keeping on track, and I'm going to try, you know, when I get back from Canada, I'm going to try and get us back on track with all of this stuff. Man, I am really good at just waffling, aren't I? I mean, I think I could probably speak for 6 hours without stopping. And if you are still here watching the episode, thank you. I'm sure we've lost most of the audience at this point, but that's totally fine. Oh my goodness, there's creepers everywhere, guys. It's just sizzling left, right, and center. Right, so let me get back to my notes here. So I've explained to you guys why I started thinking of the Gigaverse, what inspired it, and by the way, I'm about to silk touch my first diamonds on this particular GigaCast caving session. Very nice. We managed to get... Wow, is this a 10? A 10 diamond vein? Potentially. Let's have a look here. 7. We got a 9 diamond vein there, which is pretty impressive for our very first diamond find in this GigaCast caving sesh. Beautiful. I think that's what we're gonna call these videos, guys, GigaCasts, and we're just gonna go caving together. This first GigaCast is gonna be terrible. I can already tell. I already know in my heart that this is terrible. So yeah, but like I said earlier, right, we've got to practice these sort of things. This is the first time I've done something like this in a long time. So the more I practice, the better I'll get at it. Hopefully. So yes, what is the Gigaverse? Shall we finally get to the nuts and bolts of this GigaCast? What the heck am I talking about when I refer to the Gigaverse? And by the way, this is going to be able to frame quite nicely the explanation for what GigaCorp is. A lot of you guys have also been asking, Ren, what is GigaCorp? What's that all about, man? You know, you got this GigaCorp story thing that you've been talking about the whole season, yet you've never explained at all what GigaCorp is. Well, as I mentioned before, we needed a universe to exist so that I could explain GigaCorp, right? And GigaCorp exists within the Gigaverse. So let's start at what is the Gigaverse? Well, as I sort of briefly mentioned a little bit earlier on in this cast, the Gigaverse is the universe in which all of Minecraft exists. You know what? I've actually written down, I can probably explain this better if I just read what I wrote, because I did put some thought into this. So, what is the Gigaverse? The Gigaverse is the digital universe in which all of Minecraft exists, okay? The Gigaverse came into existence when Notch, the original developer of Minecraft, first rendered Minecraft Alpha, or first compiled the code of Minecraft Alpha. That was the big bang of the Gigaverse, of the Minecraft universe, right? It came into being in that moment. And the Gigaverse itself, if we answer the question, where is the Gigaverse? It literally exists within the digital void of the IRL internet network, right? So, of course, the Gigaverse exists within the human internet, right? Because Minecraft requires humans to function, and it requires the human internet to function. So, you know, we can quite easily answer that question. Where does the Gigaverse exist? Well, it's in the internet, which I think is pretty cool. You know, all of these answers, of course, can be fleshed out, and we can go quite deep into each of these things. But I just want to cover the basics first, right? Explaining what the Gigaverse is. Also, the Gigaverse is divided up into... So if you think about the Gigaverse as the IRL universe, right? The IRL universe is broken up into categories, you know? So within the IRL universe, you have galaxies, you have constellations, you have clusters, you have regions, you have all of these sort of things. And, of course, the Gigaverse has exactly these sort of categorizations too, because we need to start mapping the Gigaverse at some point, right? We need to start understanding the depth, the breadth of the Gigaverse. How large is it? How wide, how far does the Gigaverse go? Where does it go? What is within the Gigaverse? How much is within the Gigaverse, right? All of these things need to be mapped out at some point, and for that to occur, we need to have definitions for the actual mapping of the Gigaverse. So, I've already started on this process, and I would very much appreciate some help from you guys out there who are much smarter than I am. You know, I don't know very much about astronomy and about universal mapping and so on. So at some point, I would very much appreciate some help getting the Gigaverse mapped out. But as a basic concept of the mapping of the Gigaverse, I have got it written down as the following. The Gigaverse is divided up into superclusters of Minecraft galaxies that are defined by different types of Minecraft, okay? So, if we try and break down the Gigaverse as if it was the real-life universe, it might look a little something like this. The Gigaverse is, you know what, maybe we can use some blocks over here to describe this, right? So, let's say, for example, let's get a nice little canvas area here, for example, right? Let's use some cobblestone. So let's for example, say that this is a representation of the known Minecraft Gigaverse as it exists within the IRL internet today, okay? This square of cobblestone. This is the Gigaverse as we know it right now, all right? Now, within the Gigaverse, we are going to have different areas or different regions of the Gigaverse that are determined by the different forms that Minecraft itself takes, right? Because of course Minecraft is not just Java Minecraft, it's not just this type of Minecraft, there's other types of Minecraft that exist too. So the Gigaverse as a whole is broken up into different regions that are based upon the different type of Minecrafts that exist. So, for example, the Diamond region might be Java Minecraft, okay? The Moss region might be, I want to put it in the corner because OCD. This might be Minecraft Bedrock region, right? The Stone might be Minecraft Legends. This might be the Minecraft Legends region. And the Clay might be the Minecraft Dungeons region. So currently where we are right now in the Gigaverse is within the Minecraft Java region, right? And we are currently within a supercluster inside of the Minecraft Java region. We would be within the Minecraft Java geez, okay, now this is where it gets confusing. This is where usually I would do a cut because this is where it gets really, really confusing. What I've actually done, hold on, let me just Alt-Tab here. I've written down some examples that will really help to explain this a little bit better, okay? So I'm going to whisper to myself. I think, do I have chat on here? Hold on. Oh, I do. Okay, I'm going to whisper to myself so that I don't confuse people on the server right now. And I'm going to try and explain to you guys where we are right now in the Gigaverse, okay? So, currently here, we are on planet HC-9 in the Hermitcraft solar system of the YT-MC-SMP galaxy in the MC-V-Java supercluster. Okay? That's what I was explaining to you guys at the very beginning of this GigaCast, right? When I did the welcoming message. That's where we're at. So let's go backwards. Okay? Let's work backwards. This will make it a lot more simple to understand. So, we're playing Minecraft in the Minecraft Gigaverse. We are currently in the Minecraft Vanilla Java supercluster. So any other Minecraft worlds that exist that are Java Minecraft Vanilla worlds are currently in this supercluster over here, right? They all exist within this. So that includes all other single-player worlds that you have created in Java, like my single-player series. That's within this supercluster. It's within the vanilla Minecraft supercluster, as is any of the SMPs that have ever existed. However, they might be in the multiplayer region of this particular supercluster. But let's not go into too much detail. Let's just keep it, as simple as we can here. So anything that is Minecraft Vanilla Java is within the Minecraft Vanilla Java supercluster. And we are currently sitting on the YT-MC-SMP galaxy, which is the YouTube Minecraft single multiplayer galaxy, right? So anything that is a Minecraft SMP like Hermitcraft, Empires, Mindcrack, any vanilla Minecraft SMP is inside of this YouTube MC Galaxy. Now, there is one thing that we're missing here, and that is the regions within the superclusters. So, within the superclusters, you will have different regions. Now, these regions might consist of modded. Sorry. These regions might consist of. Wait, it was in my mind for a brief second there. Oh yes. The regions within the superclusters will be broken up as such, right? So the regions will be multiplayer, right? So we're currently in the multiplayer region of this MC-V/Java supercluster, or it might be a single player region. So there'll be a single player region in here too. All of you guys who play single player Minecraft, your worlds will exist in the MC-V/Java supercluster single player region within your own MC SMP Galaxy. Within that region, right? And of course, there is one layer down below that, and that is, of course, the solar system. So there is a Hermitcraft solar system. Think about it like a sun, right? There's a Hermitcraft sun that's called Hermitcraft, and around that sun, around the Hermitcraft sun, if this is the Hermitcraft solar system, are all current 8 Hermitcraft planets, or if you will, Hermitcraft seasons, right? Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, Season 7, Season 9. Now, the reason, of course, that there's no Season 8 planet is because Season 8 was a simulation within the Hermatrix. It didn't actually exist. But we can get into that more maybe in another Deep Lore GigaCast. So yeah, this is the Hermitcraft solar system. That's our Hermitcraft star, our Hermitcraft sun, and around it are all of the planets. We're currently here on HC-9, the youngest planet, and that's HC-1, the very first season of Hermitcraft, the oldest planet. And of course, the same thing applies for Empires. But Empires is a very interesting solar system because this is the Empire's sun, and there is in fact only, and I only learned this because I called the Empire's planet E-2 in the previous Hermitcraft episode, I think. There's only one planet in the Empire's solar system at the moment because Season 1 was on this side of the planet of Empires, and Season 2 of Empires is now on this side of the planet. So the Empire's solar system is quite small, right? It's only got a sun and a planet at the moment, whereas the Hermitcraft solar system is a lot bigger, with 8 planets currently circulating. And of course, both of these solar systems are within the, can you guys remember? I'm like a teacher now, an astronomy teacher. Where do these two solar systems exist? Well, they of course exist, wait, I have to check my notes for this. They of course exist in the YT YouTube-MC Minecraft-SMP Galaxy. Does that make sense? I hope so. Shall we do a couple more examples that will make it a little bit more clear, perhaps, especially when it comes to some of the weirder, or some of the things that aren't vanilla Minecraft, right? So some of you guys might ask, okay, well, what about modded Minecraft, right? How does modded Minecraft fit into the Gigaverse? Well, let me just Alt-Tab and Control-V this. There we go. So let's talk about, Let's talk about Tango and B-Dubs and Corrales and Scar's Create Mod series, right? That obviously exists within the Gigaverse because, well, it's modded Minecraft. It's still Minecraft. So the Create Mod series exists in the MC Minecraft-M modded-Java supercluster, right? Because they're playing modded Minecraft in Java. If they were playing Bedrock modded, it would be in the MC-M-Bedrock supercluster. Now, if they are in that MC-M-Java supercluster in the YouTube-MC Minecraft MSMP Galaxy, right? So the galaxy that they're in is the YT-MC-modded SMP Galaxy. Now, within that galaxy, they are in the Create Mod solar system. Of course, they would be in the multiplayer region, right? We forgot to add the single player and multiplayer regions of this galaxy. They're in the multiplayer region of YT-MC-MSMP, and they are in their own solar system called Create Mod Solar System. and they are on planet CM-2, because this is the second season of their Create mod. Let me get a sip of that beverage, guys. So, if you take this system and you apply it to any Minecraft world or any Minecraft SMP or any Minecraft group, you should be able to pinpoint your location in the Gigaverse. Although I do think we need to fix this here while we're at it. While I've got this fresh in my brain, guys, I want to add regions into this. So I'm going to whisper to myself again, and we're going to do the Hermitcraft one again, right? So we're on planet HC-9 in the Hermitcraft solar system. Yes, that's correct. In the multiplayer region of the YouTube-MC-SMP galaxy in the MC-V-Java supercluster. There, that is the full definition of where we are right now in this moment in time, in this series right here. And of course, if it was, you know, like maybe, you know what, let's do this. I want to see if I've actually got this right and if this actually works. For those of you guys who are playing anything, any Minecraft series, whether it's a single player series, whether it's a multiplayer series, whether you're watching other multiplayer series and whatnot, try and map out the location of one Minecraft world that you know, that you play in, that you are a part of, whatever. Try and map it out for me in the comments of this episode using my system over here, right? And just so that it's completely clear how to map it out, right? We are Gigaverse into supercluster, into galaxy, into region, into solar system, into planet. Okay? Like that. Gigaverse into supercluster, into galaxy, into region, into solar system, into planet. And if somebody out there, if a real astronomer has a better way to do this, please let me know. Because that's about as well as I can do using my very limited brain power when it comes to these sort of complicated, nerdy things. Man, okay, well, I doubt there's probably only a handful of you guys left watching this, and I do appreciate it. Thank you for sticking through that. I'm sure that was quite painful. I do hope, though, that I've come a little bit closer to explaining what the Gigaverse is through all of that madness. Also, let me just get my life rearranged here, guys, because my inventory is an absolute hot mess. We managed to get 9 diamonds out of a very awesome deep slate cavern there, and I want to go try find another one. Looks like there might be some action over there. So we're going to head to a new area of this cave system here. So yeah, it's basically taken me about a year or so to conceptualize this Gigaverse idea and to try and neaten it up a bit, right? I know that was a hot mess, all of that talking, that was just absolute chaos and probably quite painful to listen to, but within all of that madness, there is definitely method, and I'm hoping that maybe, you know, you guys can help me clean all of that up a little bit, right? If there's like a cleaner way to do that, please do help me out. That would be very much appreciated. But now that we have the Gigaverse, right, even in all of its chaos and carnage and it's, you know, in all of it, that madness that I was explaining, now that we have it, it's easier for us to start putting our stuff, our lore, into this Gigaverse over here, right? So let's take, for example, what's happening in Season 9 right now. So what do we know about Season 9? Well, we know that the Hermitcraft is currently orbiting planet HC-9, and upon the Hermitcraft is Rosie the bot. That is that little adorable pink robot that's been talking to us over the course of the season. She is communicating through us through a GigaComms unit, which we installed, I believe, in, was it episode 1, I think? And she's able to communicate with us via the Minecraft communication system, basically, which is more of a nice touch rather than deep lore, I think. Anyway, that puts the Hermitcraft very firmly in the Gigaverse world, and of course, helps to show that the Hermitcraft has in fact traveled here from HC-7, because remember, HC-8 was actually didn't exist as a planet. It was a digital reconstruction within the brains of the Hermits. Now, what the creation of the Gigaverse also does is it also gives the Renperor somewhere to live. Now, the Renperor is a character that we saw in Season 7 of my Hermitcraft journey. For those of you guys who may have missed it, I will... You know what I'll do? I will add the finale of Season 7 to the end cards of this video, and it's basically just a cinematic film that I created trying to explain what happened in Season 7. And in fact, now that I've explained to you what the Gigaverse is, it will make a lot more sense when you watch the finale again. It'll start making a bit more sense. So within this Gigaverse somewhere is this very evil and powerful character called the Renperor, who was theoretically destroyed at the end of Season 7. Now, whether that is true or not, only time will tell. But it certainly gives him somewhere to exist. Now, does this mean anything? Well, it's awesome because it means that we now have an entire Gigaverse set to work with, right? By the way, we've just found our second cluster of diamonds here. Looks like it might just be one diamond, though. Yeah, it's just one diamond. That's unfortunate. We have this massive set now called the Gigaverse, and we now have an infinite number of options as to try and, if we ever decide to, expand on the Renperor's backstory. Who was this evil Renperor who was basically just Palpatine, right? Remember I was talking a little bit earlier about trying to invent my own stuff? Well, you know, this is kind of where we hit the conundrum here. You know, do I even want to go back to the Renperor? Because doing that is basically just using the Star Wars canon again, right? The Star Wars canon with a Rendog twist. And that's something that I'm trying to get away from. But anyway, we could very easily just find a slot for the Renperor inside of the Gigaverse somewhere. And we could very easily choose one of these, you know, a location in the Gigaverse, on the Gigaverse map and say, well, that's where the Renperor is. And if we ever went to that world, we could explain why the Renperor is evil. Why was he trying to destroy Rendog? Why, you know, what did he do with Pamela? All the answers that were, all the questions that were never answered in Season 7, we can now answer because we have a Gigaverse in which to exist. Because of course, if you don't have a set in which your entire world is functioning, it gets really, really difficult to answer any questions. Whenever you create new stuff in your world, it creates new questions, right? So, you know, a lot of the questions that I got in Season 7, of course, was who is the Renperor? Where is he from? Why is he trying to kill Rendog? Why is he so evil? What is this character? And, you know, if you can't answer those questions, it gets, you know, it's easier for the audience to disconnect from the story that you're trying to tell, right? Like you want your audience to feel like the world you are creating for them is real, that they can imagine it within their minds as they're watching. And the only way that you can, you know, convince your audience that a world exists within the imagination is for that world to have a lot of meat on the bones, for it to have backstory, for it to exist within the realms of imagination. And now that we have this concept of the Gigaverse, we can start fleshing it out. We can also start answering the very age-old question from all the way back in Season 6. Who the heck is Rainbob, man? Who's this hippie? Why is this hippie character here? What does he do? Where did he come from? Why is he able to fly the Hermitcraft spaceship? Like, why does he seem to have knowledge that a hippie shouldn't have, right? Like, why? Like, he seems to have a lot of knowledge about the Gigaverse in particular, and more importantly, about like some of the bad stuff that was happening during Season 8. Like, he seems to have knowledge about, you know, the Hermatrix and Munatrix Octa and all this weird stuff that happened back then. Now that we have a Gigaverse, we can build a story for Rainbob. He can have his own planet somewhere in the Gigaverse, right? He can have his own storyline. He can have his own world, his own solar system. You know, it's great. I mean, maybe he even comes from planet MC-1, Minecraft-1, right? Maybe he existed on that planet without any of the Minecrackers even knowing that he was there. There's so many options and possibilities when you have a set. And not just a set like a house, you know, with a door and a kitchen and, you know, that sort of thing. I mean a universe set, a much bigger set. What would Star Wars be without its universe, right? Star Wars is not just a story of a few characters. Though that story cannot be told unless it exists within a much larger universe. And, you know, before George Lucas could even think about writing Star Wars, he needed to create that universe so that the characters and the stories could exist, that they could actually function in a believable way within that universe. And, you know, the more that the Gigaverse reveals itself to me and makes a lot more sense to me, the more excited I get, because it means we can start telling some more advanced stories, and we can start justifying stuff also. And, you know, when the viewer asks why, we can actually answer that question. Instead of just saying, because lore, which is a great way to answer any question from a Minecraft content viewer, right? Like, why is this happening? Why does this happen? Why is this character here? It's easy for us to just look at you guys and say lore. But with the concept of the Gigaverse, we're able to actually explain that a little bit deeper, right? I mean, a great example of this is the idea of GIGACORP. And GIGACORP is actually something that I would like to talk with you guys in a lot more detail, perhaps in the next episode of this series, if we have one. I mean, you know, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please let me know in the comments if you want another one of these rambling, you know, hour and a half long, you know, absolute messes of a Minecraft episode. If you like them, I'll make more of them. Let me know, man. I shall judge your liking of this episode by the like number and your comments. So please, please don't hold back, guys. If this was absolute rubbish, please let me know too, and I'll never do it again. But anyway, yes. So, you know, the Gigaverse gives me a really great opportunity to explain to you guys what GIGACORP is, right? Now, on the surface, GIGACORP is just... Oh, we've just found a nice little patch of diamonds over here, guys. We just have to clean out this little section, though. We've got some... We've got a mild infestation in this little cave here. Couple spiders, couple skeletons. But yeah, having the Gigaverse really allows me to explain to you guys what GIGACORP is. So, from a traditional Hermitcraft perspective, GIGACORP is just a shop, right? It's something that we've been doing since Season 4. You know, as Hermits, we create a shop, we name it, we give it a brand. The other Hermits come and shop at the shop. And then the next season, we try and make a new shop, right? So some of the very famous examples are like Sahara from Season 6, or Concorp, right? Cub and Scar's Concorp from Season 6, or iBuy from the current season. You know, we create these shops, these real-life copies of, you know, real-life brands and mega stores and corporations and whatnot. And that's exactly what GIGACORP might seem like, because that's just how we do things on Hermitcraft. But in fact, now that the Gigaverse exists, GIGACORP is something so much bigger. GIGACORP is essentially the Gigaverse's version of Amazon. Okay, so anywhere in the Gigaverse, anywhere you are, whether you're in the modded Minecraft supercluster, whether you are in the Bedrock supercluster, whether you are in the single player region of modded Minecraft, doesn't matter where you are in the Gigaverse, you can access and purchase goods you need from GIGACORP, open 24/7. And there is a whole backstory, of course, to GIGACORP that will be explained over time. GIGACORP managed to, you know, monopolize the Gigaverse, right? It is the largest, most successful corporation in the entire Gigaverse. It is the Amazon of the Gigaverse. And it has managed to reach every single corner of the Gigaverse, in fact. And of course, Admiral Endarion is a very big part of GIGACORP. Of course, if you go back and watch the opening of this season, Season 9, you will see Admiral Endarion in a GIGACORP Corvette. And he is currently on a mission to scout out, I guess, and make contact with an anomaly that is currently on its way to planet HC-9. But there's a clue in that first episode, right? Why is Endarion's ship a GIGACORP ship? What does that mean? Well, that shall be expanded over time. But that's a really great example of why I wanted to create the Gigaverse, and why I'm so excited about the Gigaverse, and also why I'm a bit stressed about the Gigaverse, because to date, I've not really been able to explain what the Gigaverse is very well in my episodes. And there's a number of reasons for this. Now, during my time in Canada over Christmas, I'm going to try and and figure out a way to get around this issue. But the reality is that the way that Minecraft content works on YouTube is that every episode that you put out as a hermit, you have new viewers that come in, right? Someone that's never watched your videos before. Someone from another hermit comes and watches your stuff. And so, if you focus really hard on deep lore in every episode, it can be very jarring for a new viewer, you know, because they haven't been following the storyline. We found another little cluster of diamonds here, by the way, guys. They don't know what GigaCorp is. They've never heard about it. This is the first time they're watching your episodes. But it's kind of a catch-22 situation, because you don't want to explain your deep lore in every episode, because if you do, you will make your regular viewers bored. They don't want to hear the same thing every time. What is the Gigaverse? What is GigaCorp? Blah, 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 right? So you have to try and explain. Were we down there already? No. You have to try and explain your deep lore just using the story that you're telling, right? So basically, you have to build your deep lore into your content in such a way that it feels completely and naturally integrated into Rendog, into the Rendog Season 9 story, into everything that we do. And it has to be intuitive to a new viewer. Like, what is this deep lore? And of course, it also has to be exciting to the current viewers too. So it's a really big challenge to do deep lore, and I think it's a reason why a lot of Minecraft content creators don't do it. Certainly, I didn't realize how difficult it is to do properly. Anyone can do deep lore, right? But to do it properly is actually much more difficult than I thought, and I think it's a lot more akin to actually writing a real script for a real movie or a real world. You know, it's much more akin to creating a Star Wars universe or something like that. Like, you can't just do it from a few hours of thinking. You know, it's literally like something that'll take years to do, and needs persistent and consistent love and work from the author. You know, you have to keep on expanding it, keep on working on it, and so on. So, yeah, the more I talk about it like that, the more that it frightens me. But anyway, the point is that having that sort of, having the Gigaverse explained and expanded upon properly is really a large ambition of mine as a creator. This circles back to what I was saying at the very beginning of this cast. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to create something amazing. I want to make something that no, sorry, it's getting a little bit sketchy here now. There's quite a lot of mobbage going on in this cave. Anyway, I want to create something that no YouTube Minecrafter has created. Something beyond Minecraft. I want something that, I don't know, that is... we're being cornered here, guys. There's mobs left, right, and center. Right as I'm getting to the climax of my telling here. Oh, jeez, Minecraft. Minecraft is getting very cross with me today, guys, apparently. Hold on, let me just get my bow out. Yeah, I want to create something that is timeless, right? That is beyond just a series on you know, that in 10 years' time will be forgotten or will not be watched anymore. I'd like to create like a legacy of some kind, right? And if I could somehow contribute to creating the canon of Minecraft, like what is Minecraft, where is Minecraft, how does it exist? You know, the lore. If I could create like a lore for Minecraft that becomes the standard, that would just be the ultimate and most amazing accomplishment that I as an artist or a creator could ever do. Now, I'm under no illusion that this is probably 0% to happen. But I'm going to give it a good go. And the first thing I'm going to try is the Gigaverse. And like I said in the beginning, if the Gigaverse concept doesn't work, I'll try something else. But yeah, that, I believe, I don't actually know how long I've been talking for now. It feels like quite a while. I think that might wrap it up. I've answered all the questions that I've written down on my notes here. What is the Gigaverse? Why the Gigaverse? How did I come about thinking about the Gigaverse? And what is the purpose of the Gigaverse? I think we've answered all of these questions, and I've probably said Gigaverse so many times that it has annoyed some of you guys, so I do apologize about that. But I think that might conclude our very first GigaCast here from... Shall we do this properly here, guys? That concludes our very... Like a professional. I should probably get this place lit up first over here. Here we go. Okay, so that concludes our very first GigaCast from... Wait, I need my notes here. From planet HC-9 in the Hermitcraft solar system in the multiplayer region of the YT-MC-SMP galaxy in the MC-V/Java supercluster of the Gigaverse. Oh god, my brain hurts. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it, guys. That's gonna do it for this podcast, this Hermitcraft Deep Lore podcast. I hope you enjoyed this. Please do let me know, man. Give me some feedback in the comment section below, and when I get back from Canada, I shall review it all and see if we'll do another one of these. I guess the views will also dictate whether this was a success or not, so holding thumbs that you guys actually enjoy this. Also, by the way, before I go, just want to quickly give a big shout out to everybody who picked up a Rendog plushie this year. Thank you very much, guys, for picking up a plushie. Those are still available, by the way, until the end of Christmas. And also, just a very quick note that my friend Corrales and I have been working on some new GigaLogs merchandise, which is super exciting. I've never done actual merchandise before. Well, I did when I very first started on YouTube, but it was like really janky merchandise, absolutely terrible merchandise. This is like actually legitimate merchandise, and it is really, really cool. And if I remember, I shall stick a link in the description of this episode if you want to go check it out. It's like actual GigaLogs merch. You know, GigaLogs, like we have Piranhas and I have a log company in Season 9. Yeah, it's GigaLogs merchandise. It's super awesome. And very excited to get all of that out to you guys in January. But I thought, you know, for those of you guys who are still here, let you guys know that that is currently available, or should be available anyway, at the gigalogs.shop in the IRL, of course, not in the Gigaverse. Oh, goodness. Anyway, last diamond over here. By the way, for those who are just listening, we managed to pick up 14 deep slate diamond ores on this caving session. I guess this gives us a threshold for the next GigaCast, right? We want to try and get more than 14 diamond ores the next time we do this, if we do this again. That was probably the most unprofessional bit of caving that I've ever done. Very difficult to talk about complicated stuff while caving. That is what I've learned from this particular podcast today, guys. But I think that's going to do it. I'm going to try find my way out of here, try get back up to the surface. And that's going to do it for now. I guess all that's left to say from this episode, the very first GigaCast, is thank you for listening all the way to the end. And have a fantastic Christmas, New Year's for 2022, and cannot wait to see you guys next year here on YouTube and on Twitch, of course. And we've got some very exciting stuff coming up from the Gigaverse next year. And well, I got to say, looking forward to doing another one of these, because this was actually quite fun. Bit of a brain dump, really. And I better get this edited before I head off to Canada. Don't have very much time to get that done. So yeah, I guess it's goodbye. I could literally waffle on for 6 hours, guys. I've just realized I could talk for 6 hours. Bye, everybody. See you next time.